This is a different kind of tired. If you've been wanting to start something for yourself, maybe you've been wanting to start a YouTube channel or make art with your hands, or maybe you want to start an online business, but you are so drained emotionally, mentally, and physically, you don't even know where to start or how to start. If any of that resonates, this video is for you. And I want you to know that you are not alone in this. So many of the women who write me in emails and leave comments on my videos, the women that I'm talking to every single day on this channel, are feeling exactly what you're feeling right now. And it wasn't that long ago that I was there too. I talk a lot on this channel about just starting. I talk a lot about how there is never the perfect time to start, or you're never going to feel 100% certain and ready. And I truly believe that. But in today's video, I want to talk to the woman who that advice doesn't apply to just yet. If your batteries are so drained and you are so depleted, then people telling you to just start might actually be making things worse for you. And in this video, I want to show you what comes before any of that. Hey everyone, I'm Krista, and this is The Slow Creative, a space for sensitive, creative women who are ready to slow down and make space in their life for what they actually love. Whether it's their creativity or a calling that lives on their heart, maybe it's a business idea that they've been thinking about for months or maybe even years, and just this deep desire to build a more beautiful, intentional life. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that have helped me come back from complete and utter depletion. And I think the first one is probably the opposite of what you would expect to hear. About a year ago, I was going through a divorce, and this was a significantly challenging time in my life, separating from a 17-year relationship and just untangling all of the things when you have 2 lives completely intertwined for almost 2 decades. And I remember during that time, besides all of the emotional stuff like the grief and the heartache and the uncertainty and the fear, all of those feelings that I was experiencing, I remember also just trying to stay afloat with all of the things that needed to happen in our lives. I have 2 children with complex disabilities, and at the time we were sort of quasi homeschooling, unschooling. So they were home with me night and day. I was trying to stay positive for them and trying not to disrupt their lives too much. I was still managing freelance clients that I had through the freelance side of my business at the time. I was dealing with all of the legalities and all of the paperwork that needed to happen while trying to find us a new home and decluttering and all of the practical things that come with a divorce. So there was a lot happening at that time, emotionally, mentally, and physically, as I tried to declutter and pack up our belongings and find us a new home for me, my children, and our 2 senior dogs to live. And I remember before all of this had started, I created a YouTube channel, but when the divorce happened, I had to put everything on hold. There was just no room or no space to really think about where I wanted this channel to go or what I wanted it to be about. I had this vision for a creative life. I had this dream of starting this YouTube channel and maybe one day turning it into a business, of waking up each day and getting to express myself creatively through film and video and editing and all of these different things. But when I was going through the divorce and trying to unravel our lives and put the pieces back together again in a way that felt really intentional and positive for us going forward, I just couldn't think about the channel. I couldn't think about anything creative. There was no room for this business. There was no room for inspiration. I was just mentally, emotionally, and physically depleted, and I was feeling so overwhelmed in nearly every aspect of my life. So the first thing I did, and this might feel counterintuitive because it's going against the thing that you want, but for me, it was giving myself the permission to stop. I knew that I needed to take absolutely everything off of my plate that was not the bare essentials. I needed to feed my kids. I needed to be in a mentally positive state to help them navigate this big life transition. I had all of these things that I was managing while still trying to be a full-time mom. I just said, right now, I can't think about the YouTube channel. Right now, I can't think about building this business or the creative life that I had this beautiful vision for. And I honestly didn't know if I would ever be in the right headspace to come back to it. I was feeling so uninspired. I had these visions, I had some clarity on what it was that I wanted, but I had zero fuel in the tank and little to no capacity in any aspect of my life to give this dream any attention at all. At that time in my life, the only thing that I really knew for sure was that I needed breathing room. The way that I was living and the way that I was moving throughout my days was not sustainable, and I just couldn't keep going that way. And if you're in that place right now where you are just barely getting through the day, your battery is so drained that there is barely anything left, you can't expect yourself to be starting something new, like this new creative endeavor, a YouTube channel or a business, or picking up this new hobby. You cannot create from empty. You cannot get ideas and inspiration when you are at the bottom of the barrel. So my tip for you is to just give yourself the permission to stop just for now. It is not forever. It might be a few weeks that you need to stop. It could be a few months. In my case, it took about 6 or 7 months where I just stopped, focused on what I needed to do to create a little more breathing room and spaciousness in my life. You are not stopping forever. You are not saying no or giving up on your dreams. You are just putting it on the shelf temporarily and holding the faith that you're going to come back to it when the timing is just a little better for you. And trust me, the timing will get better. This storm that you're going through, this really difficult season when you are so completely burnt out and depleted, it will pass. And I think a lot of the messaging that we hear, and I have said it so many times on this channel myself, is to just start. It can actually be harmful if you are in this situation of being so completely and utterly depleted. The message of just start is for the person who has those ideas and the inspiration coming through and the capacity to actually do something about it. But they're dealing with fear. They're dealing with feelings of self-doubt and uncertainty. She has a little breathing room in her schedule to take tiny steps and to start moving towards the thing that she wants to build. And if you are not there yet, if there is not an ounce of room for one more thing in your life because you are stretched so thin in every aspect of your life, you have to fill your tank before you can draw from it. And the only way that I personally know how to do it is to just stop, evaluate, give yourself a little breathing room so that you have a little more capacity to take the next step, which is what I want to talk to you about next, which looked a little differently than I had expected. Making capacity in your life is going to look different for everyone. For some of you, it might mean looking at your weekly calendar and being ruthless and really asking yourself, what am I doing every day or every week that is out of obligation that isn't really essential? What can I say no to temporarily? Or just being really honest and asking yourself, what can wait? Sometimes our batteries are being drained just by the sheer weight of the obligations that are on your plate every single week. For me, creating capacity started with my home. As a highly sensitive person, if there is a lot of visual noise in my environment and a lot of chaos through clutter and all of these unfinished piles that I have to walk past every single day, it is very hard on a sensitive nervous system. Every time I would see piles scattered about or things cluttering up the countertops, it was just this mental checklist of all of the tasks that I have yet to get done. So for me, I started to simplify and I decluttered almost every area of my home. I cleared surfaces, I created simple systems to help our day-to-day just run a whole lot smoother, and I set up our home in a very intentional way that really works for our lives, that when I was home, my home would give me energy back, so that I could use that energy to focus on the creative pursuits and ideas and the beautiful intentional life that I really wanted to build. I noticed as I set up these systems and I started to declutter and simplify our space, I started to feel less irritated. I had a little more energy left at the end of the day. And if you have been running on empty and your battery is completely drained, just having a little more capacity in your day is huge. Just take a moment and think to yourself, look around your environment, look at your schedule. What is your biggest energy drain right now? Just notice it, because I honestly think that this is the starting point. Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. So the final piece to all of this, once you allow yourself a little time to stop and create some breathing room, I think then that you are ready to start small. And when I say start small, I'm talking about so small that maybe it even feels silly or like you're doing nothing at all. So for me, after about 6 months of just focusing on essentials and making a little more capacity, simplifying our lives, little sparks of inspiration started to come back. I started to feel some excitement again about being creative, about maybe the possibility of reigniting this YouTube channel. Inspiration started to come back gradually on its own without me having to force it. And even though I wasn't ready to act on any of it yet because I was still pretty burnt out, I did the smallest thing that I could do at the time. And for me, that was capturing those little sparks of inspiration, the little snippets of ideas that were coming to me. I started to capture them, whether it was on the notes app of my phone, sometimes it was in Notion, sometimes it was in my journal. I was just getting the thoughts out of my head. Sit with your journal tonight and give yourself just 5 minutes, 5 solo, undistracted minutes where you just sit with your ideas and you capture them in your notebook and you just reflect on any sparks of inspiration that you've had without any pressure to act on it, without any pressure to turn it into something or to start big. You're not going to start with launching something or getting your camera out and filming right away. Start with the smallest thing that doesn't require a lot of your energy. Inspiration is probably not all going to return at once, especially when you're in the thick of a lot of heavy things. When you're really depleted, it is unlikely that you're going to have a lot of creative ideas come to you. You're not going to feel overly inspired. Just remember, there is no perfect time. This season that you're in of being utterly and totally depleted, it's a temporary season and it's going to pass until the next thing will hit. I think that's just the reality of being a highly sensitive person, especially many of us are in caregiving roles, whether it's with children or with aging parents. Many of you who write to me tell me that you have a chronic illness or chronic fatigue that makes just every day really, really hard. The goal is to create a little more capacity in your life so that when the next hard thing hits or the next thing tries to bulldoze you over, you have a little more room to absorb it. And before I go, I want to say one, I think, really important thing, and that is the stopping, the simplifying, the making a little more capacity in your life so that sparks of inspiration can find their way back to you. That's not waiting to start on your creative dream or the thing that you want to build. That is starting. When your batteries are depleted and you are running on empty, that is what starting looks like. If you're in the thick of it right now, completely on empty, and you're not even sure where to begin or how to find the energy to start, I made something for you and it's called the Slow Return. It's a free guide for the sensitive woman who has given everything to everyone else and is ready to come home to herself. It's not a to-do list and it is not another thing that you need to add to your plate. It's just a gentle starting place to help you pause, catch your breath, and begin to make just a little more room. If you're interested, the link is in the description below. And if you have a creative dream or an idea or something that you want to build and you have been feeling way too depleted to start and you're not sure where to begin, I would love to know if any of these tips resonated with you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you again next week. Bye for now.